Bell House Studios, salty studios. Welcome to First Snow. Welcome to a Christmas special. What? You see, we've got a bloody visual novel, haven't we? This has become a thing, a visual novel every year. Unfortunately, How Long to Beat says this is 5 hours long, so this is not going to be a full one. 2019, I think we had the thing with... what was it? The thing with mistletoes or something? And that was 2 parts. It ended up being like 3 hours or something. And then last year, I don't remember what it was Lost Girl's Diary or something, which wasn't very Christmassy. It was more Halloweeny than anything. It was just girls telling horror stories. Even though it was marked as a Christmas game, sort of. And that was short enough. That was 1 part. But today, no, we're only going to be doing 1 part of this. So join me as we have a lovely story time. Options. What options do... oh, winter. Obviously. What kind of options do you need? You know, keybinds. Just click for continuation. New game. Wait, what? No, wait. Get me out of here. Why is Q's theme inaccessibility? Oh, here we go. Right, here we go. The first snow of the year should be a comforting sight, yet this carries a different feeling when so far from home. Why is it a cardboard cutout world? It's probably not going to be particularly funny or anything. Winter has always been my favourite time of the year, but the joy of warm fires and upcoming holidays is missing. There's only a month left to go until the season begins in earnest, but I can't feel any of the usual excitement. Aw, cheer up. The coming winter will be the first I've spent away from my family, after all. It's just me now, standing alone on a concrete balcony and looking out onto a grey sky. You're looking down, actually. The sky is generally above you. Whoa! Earthquake. Hey Alison, aren't classes soon? Classes? A woman's barking from down below breaks me out of my thoughts. Her familiar figure, clad in leather, stares up, snow heaped on the rusted shovel in her hands. Put that down. Oh, we're indoors now. I escaped from her. This one seems like it's not going to be as, funny. Thing with mistletoes wasn't particularly well written or anything, and it was amusing. And then Lost Girl's Diary, I don't know what that was just weird. I don't think that was particular. No, wasn't it Russian? I don't know. I want one that's funny. What the hell is that? What is that? Oh, it's the string on the back of my giant Charmander plush's head. I thought there was an eyeball in the reflection of my monitor. That was scary. Looks like the heating's died again. The inside of the apartment no warmer than out there. This new home might be a little shabby, but at least it's ours. Wait, ours? I thought you said you were alone. A quick glance at my phone as I walk to get my coat and bag confirms her to be right. The morning's message from a friend still showing on the screen. Big news, Ali. Tell you later in bio. Yay. The idea of big news at this, of all times, fills me with worry. I'm already too busy just trying to keep up with my new life. With time marching on, I quickly slip the phone back into my coat and set off for the stairs. I shouldn't have a problem making it to class if I keep a good pace. Hi, wiggly girl. The busily shoveling woman is still working away, her efforts obvious to see. The snowfall has been impressive for a single night. Scruffle. But a good amount's already been cleared, her heavy breathing easily visible in the cold air. Can't see breath, if she can. Keeping a brisk pace, as much to get to my classes on time as it is to try and warm myself up. I try to wave a quick goodbye. It's obvious she won't let me go without giving her 2 cents, though. What? As she puts her shovel against the wall and takes a good stretch. Is she a beggar? Morning, Rose. Working hard already? Wait, this is me, I think. Whoa, flip. Someone's got to do it, not like those useless lumps will. What? Rose jerks her head. Whoa, don't jerk off. Oh, wait, head. Towards the apartments. She's not really wrong, but her usual tactlessness is on full display. You all bundled up? Looks like winter's coming early, going by the paper. It'll be fine, don't worry. Just take it easy on the way there, alright? I will. A weak smile is her response as I start off down the road. She knows that I'm right. No, I will was her response. This is hardly the first exchange... Oh my god, we're zooming in. This is hardly the first exchange we've had like this. Every other morning Rose comes up with something or other to definitely not be concerned about. I don't mind though. That kindness is one of her better traits. Where are we going? Where are we off to? You can't even hear the footsteps probably. It's probably been cancelled out by the noise reduction that I do. The weather's been getting steadily colder for a while now. The few workers braving the morning chill are slowly making their way down to the bus station for work, those staying behind grumbling as they shovel snow from the roofs of their cars and their driveways. There aren't many students down this way as I walk, however. Student accommodation filled up fast, and the nearby apartments were all rented out soon after that. Thank goodness for a family friend offering to let me live with them. Move the microphone closer so you can maybe hear stuff. Helpful as Rose may be, there's still some sense of being a foreigner. It's only been 2 months since I moved in and started classes at college. My circle of high school friends and boisterous family home, turning overnight to a cramped apartment shared between Rose and I. What? I thought I was Rose. That was Alison I was talking to. Who's Rose? Wait, am I a silent protagonist? As the school buildings came into view, I joined the tired masses staggering through the gates and towards their classes. Much as I might worry, I know I'm not alone. Oh, it looks like you're alone. I don't see anyone. This looks nice though. I guess the snow wouldn't be there if I didn't choose winter theme, maybe. I'm sure many of the students around me right now are going through exactly the same thing. What, snow? Now they're probably floating on their hover boots. It's only now that I realise I haven't had my usual morning coffee break at the apartment to wake myself up. With little time before biology class starts, I'll have to content myself with a quick can of soda. Show me a can of soda! While talking on the phone! From the vending machine. Nobody will get that reference, sorry. Heading over to the Union building on the way to class, the morning chill's driven away. The usual gaggle of those sitting on the stairs and blocking the entrance. God, it's like Life is Strange all over again. Rubbing my hands together to summon a demon, some warmth, I head on in. Cha-chonk. Oh, nobody here. Drink. Ah yes, drink brand drinks. I love drink. With the heating being cranked right up, you could almost forget it's winter outside. My relief doesn't last long, however. Whoa! My heart nearly stops as a deafening clatter comes from ahead. Shitting hell, calm down. A couple walking arm in arm skirt around the edge of the room, doing their best to not draw the attention of a blonde woman nearby. She grumbles loudly before delivering another kick to the poor, abused vending machine in front of her. I hate situations like these. Either I do nothing and feel bad for not helping, or step in and deal with the stress that comes with confronting someone involved. Oh shit, she's seen me. Whoa! As I try to work my way out of this, my heart freezes as the woman locks eyes with me. I must make for a pitiable sight with my hands raised defensively in front of me, her rage calming as she settles for staring daggers at the machine. Oh, I thought she was looking at me. Her eyes aren't very locked at me if she's staring daggers at the machine. Resigned to my fate, I reluctantly shuffle towards her as my heart beats wildly. Oh, she's in love. As I do, the dour look is only made all the more intimidating from the bags under her eyes. Is your coffee not coming out? Wait, I'm Alison. Okay, Rose was the lady in the road. Is something wrong? Stupid thing ain't my money, no can or change at all. Threw $5 in there too. The vending machine here messes up sometimes. It's usually better to go through the cafeteria for drinks. They should fix it then, mad girl. Shit. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance, another fact being jammed into the accused, another foot. Where did I get fact from? It does look like fact. With blurred vision. Which I don't have, but they were for a sec. The horrible noise makes me cringe again, and I'm starting to worry she'll hurt herself as much as the machine itself. Don't worry about her hurting herself, it's her fault. Don't kick it again. Why not? Thing's already broken, isn't it? I want to say that I'd rather not get in trouble with the staff, but I get the feeling that wouldn't faze her. Reviewing my options as quickly as I can, there's only one solution I can think of that might settle her down. I probably shouldn't, but if anyone's paying much attention... What? Which drink do you want? She gives me a curious look after I manage to squeak the words out, but eventually points. I was just grabbing a lemonade on my way out. Could you turn around for a moment? With great reluctance she turns away as I ask. I doubt she could work out what I'm doing by looking, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Closing my eyes and silently mouthing the right sequence to make sure I don't mess it up, I go about my business. Is she casting a spell? With any... That is honky. That is some honky music. With any luck, the software inside hasn't been updated since I last tested this. A long sigh of relief passes my lips as the vending machine rattles away loudly, dumping a can into the small opening. What the hell? Magical girl. Holding the can before the blonde woman's face as she turns back around, my reward is a somewhat impressed expression as she takes the item. Now that she has her drink, and had a chance to get her frustration out of her system, she seems to be calming a little. Oh look at the use of hyphens. This is a good writer actually, so there's no point playing this because it's not going to be funny. She seems to be calming a little. Her height doesn't help her look any less intimidating though. And her size of certain bits. With what I consider the matter settled, as I nod and begin to walk away, only as I leave do I realise my heart's racing after having to deal with her. It was before. Hey, wait up! Reaching for my instinctual response, I pretend not to hear her as I skitter away and disappear back through the entrance. What an encounter. The cold hits me like a wall. Then how did you walk through it? God, she can cast spells to get free drinks, and she can walk through walls. I hardly mind heaving a sigh to steady myself as I head towards classes. I only remember now that I had intended to grab a drink myself, but fiddling with the machines probably made me too late. You didn't fiddle with it, you spoke to it. Machine whisperer. Actually, I think it might be. It might be a female love story, because the picture like banner thing on Steam shows two girls snuggled up with a scarf around them, a single scarf being shared, and they both got their eyes closed. In fact, one of them looks like that blonde lady, I think. Love's blooming. Oh, whole school is gonna melt, as in all the snow. The empty campus grounds make me nervous, making me take my phone in hand to check the time. Don't do that, just go to class, run! A quick glance is all that's needed to send me dashing towards the sciences building. Good, are we going to get to do science? I could do science, me. It's going to be one of those days. Cha-chong, well, there's only one person here. What a good class. Panting from the run, I stagger into biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiable impression on the professor, who merely nods for me to take a seat. Setting my bag next to me. God, I miss school. I don't know why. I quickly take the seat next to a now familiar figure. Whoa, boing. Her ass is so fat that she bounced. The diminutive Capri Sun shoots a grin and a wave as I sit, earning a smile in return. It's nice to see a friendly face. Don't speak in... Oh, she disintegrated. As the professor gets back to lecturing, I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag, flicking through to the bookmark I'd added for where we currently are. Movement from the corner of my eye takes my attention, a ripped piece of sketchpad sliding before me. Will you go out with me? Oh no, your perfect attendance record, what happened? Oi, no writing in class, look at those doodles as well. Her writing is surrounded by various doodles and scribbles already on the page. I should pay attention to the class, but it isn't that easy to wave Caprice off. Then again, this is largely reviewing what we covered in high school right now. Probably wouldn't hurt to chat with her a bit. I hope we get in trouble. What is that? Why is there a farting... Oi! I didn't read that. There's a farting pepper cat. I write a brief reply and a little accompanying drawing before sliding it back over. A quick look to the professor, making sure the coast is clear as he drones on. There. Got held up with someone. XD. Caprice's reply as the pages pass back makes me grimace. I should have expected that. He's doing a big thonk. I almost reply before noticing the professor casting a knowing glance my way as he continues with his teaching. He knew what we were doing, didn't he? Thinking better of it, I tuck the page beneath my skirt and put it inside. Beneath my textbook, and start listening properly. I don't need to look at Caprice to know her reaction. Oh, she drew it. I hardly think worse of her for it, though. Swapping doodles during these classes was how she broke the ice with me when I was just another lonely freshman student. A shy one, at that. Given we're still friends, I suppose it worked. Sneaking a glance back at the page beneath my book reminds me how well the mercurial girl can draw, at least compared to me. She mentioned one time that she's also taking art classes, which must be paying off. She should go on some websites and make dosh. Before I know it, the class starts winding up. Oh, that was a short class. The other students begin to get distracted as time goes on. The professor soon starting to wrap things up in response. There's a Lenny face on the blackboard over there, if that's a blackboard. I guess chalkboard are supposed to be called these days, aren't they? I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a proper thing. Like, I'm all for like being against racism, but it's black. The board is black. I don't know if they even do that, I just feel like I heard once. You know, you don't call black ink like something else, do you? Anyway, no sooner do the words come from his mouth that the class is over does the loud clatter of people packing books and pens into their bags and backpacks begin. Caprice wastes no time in talking, as the two of us do the same.
I was worried you were sick today, Ali.
My name's Allison. Your hair's a mess. She's doing a chub cheek as well. It was only a couple of minutes.
For you, that's a lot.
She has a point. No, the point went away now. She had a hand up a second ago pointing at her chin, but now I guess it's behind her pointing at her ass instead. She has a point. It's likely I was more concerned about this than the teacher. After near perfect attendance through high school though, the last thing I want is to set a bad expectation from the staff here. Setting that aside, I'm not sure the professor really likes us passing notes to each other in class.
Oh, don't worry about him, he's cool, we've talked.
Well, if you're sure, I do like seeing your drawings.
Oh, and I like seeing yours. I'm glad you're here today, actually.
What do you mean? I'm always here. Perfect attendance, remember?
I've been thinking, and I need your help with something.
Wah! Wah! From Crazy Taxi.
We're making an art club.
But there's already an art. Wait, why is there a we there? How am I a part of this? Are you assuming she doesn't have other friends? We can only mean me and her.
You're a founding member, of course.
Oh, achievement, the new art club. Why do I get the feeling Caprice has been mulling this over in her head for ages? Plans seem to already be in motion for her, and I'm not sure what choice I have left in this. Oh, what the hell? Her clothes like, opened a little bit or something. I don't know what just happened. I'm left to mull things over as I take my coat from the back of my seat and slip it on, the two of us taking our bags and joining the others in heading out into the hallway. I hadn't even considered joining a club, let alone starting one up with all the work that'd entail. She's always grinning. I can help, but I have my schoolwork to concentrate on, you know. Getting a scholarship wasn't easy and I'd rather not waste it.
Ah, right, you were majoring in chemistry, weren't you?
I gave a nod, albeit a slightly guilty one. Not that I'd dare have told my family, but I only picked chemistry because I happened to be good at it. What's wrong with daring to tell people that? What? Don't you normally choose things you're good at? I guess you choose things that you want to do as well, but choosing something you're good at doesn't exactly sound like a sin. Like most things in life, I just went with the default option before me. Nothing wrong with that, lady. At least Capri seems to have moved on from me being a part of this. I have enough going on in my life between moving to a new home and studying for college to think about spending time in clubs and things. I'm surprised you're taking biology classes, to be honest. Aren't you more into art? You can do two things.
It's hard to pick a favourite, but right now, bio is just the entry-level stuff. It's so boring, right? I talked to the professor though, and we're getting into some marine life chapters soon.
Whoa, can we talk about shark bits? That seems very specific.
It's the most interesting part. I gotta focus hard when we get there. I plan on making it my major.
So even a free spirit like Caprice has something she's working towards. It seems I can't get away from how much of a mess my life is, with no idea what I want to do for a career. I thought you were majoring in biology or something, chemistry I mean. The two of us head outside, with our next class— oh yeah, the snow's stopped. With our next classes in the other buildings. As we do, I look about warily as students from other classes pass by. I'd rather not bump into that angry woman again.
Who were you held up with anyway? Bump into a friend?
That would require there to be another beyond her in the first place. Aww. She's about the last person I'd call a friend, kinda scary actually. She might have been asking out of small talk before, but now I have a full interest. With reluctance, I think back to the event. Not sure if you'd know her, tall blonde, green eyes, very sharp look, with high boots, kinda pretty. Oh great, it begins. Now that I've time to think it through, she was quite beautiful. She's attracted to angry ladies, and more than her body too. I liked her sense of fashion.
I think I know who you're talking about actually.
You do?
Yep, our other founding member.
Oh great. She hasn't dropped the idea of me joining at all, and now wants her of all people to be part of this. My reaction to the news apparently shows on my face.
If we're thinking of the same person, I've seen her around, and I've heard some things. She floats around to the art department a lot, so the other art club tried to grab her. She didn't even pretend to consider it, just told them to get lost. Which means she's still free. For bed.
Oh, if she already rejected one club, why would she join another?
Because it's led by me, of course.
I just sigh. I need to go to my next class. Being late for one today is already too much. Resigned to my fate, I wave goodbye and start to head off. Not more than a couple of seconds later, I hear her calling out behind me.
Oh, before you go, meet me on the second floor of the arts building after classes, okay? We need to get started on finding a club room and stuff.
Looks like I'm going to be a part of this scheme whether I like it or not. Dealing with that woman again makes me shudder. But she'll surely just reject Caprice, and that'll be that. Yeah, no worries. Oh, Christmas has arrived. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience to the normal hustle and bustle, where students gossiped in the hallways, organised dates, and hurried between classes with arms full of overpriced textbooks. Yeah, why do they cost so much? Out of necessity, that's why. Just any old normal book full of paper, but because it's for school, which is something you kind of need to do, they charge more for it. Fucking... That's the way of the world, that is. Just like how healthy food is more expensive because it's what people want to buy to be healthy. And cheap food is bad for you. Ridiculous. Anyway, how far did I get? There's now a sweet silence. Silence doesn't have a flavour. All to be seen at this hour is the odd straggler thinking more about dinner than schoolwork. Well, them and the Christmas decorations. I get the feeling that the arts and humanities staff take some enjoyment out of getting ready for the occasion. Much like the school itself, the decorations look a bit ragged, probably hauled out every year for decades. It looks nice. Is it a... No, I don't think it's a real photo with a filter on it, like visual novels do quite often, seem to anyway. With little to do until Caprice shows up, exploring the arts building and peering into this classroom or that winds up passing the time. There's more decorations. Heading up the stairs, I take my time strolling through the hallways. Everything, it could be a photo actually, I don't know. It's either a photo or very well drawn, I guess. Especially those reflections over there. Heading up the stairs, I take my time strolling through the hallways. Everything is bathed in the orange of the sunset. The quiet of the halls giving the building... Oh, I got a card, what? I guess it's probably a booster pack. This game doesn't have cards. Everything is bathed in the orange light of the sunset. The quiet of the halls giving the building a serene atmosphere. It's calming after the day's events. It isn't until a good few minutes pass that I find the first thing of much interest, a single room with the door left open. With curiosity getting the better of me, I stroll up the hallway and gingerly step inside. Whoa, tasty. Ginger. At least I can close the door for them. There's nothing in there. With only a handful of chairs actually set against tables, I'd think this room unused if not for the paints, papers and sketchbooks strewn across the tops of the cupboards. Is that nudity? Maybe. If Caprice wanted a club room, this would be as good as any. As I peer about, the sight of one particular canvas amongst it all catches my attention. The painting of a woman standing in water sits drying on the easel. I bet it's the blonde lady did it. The painter's utensils still lying about. Hey look, it's Final Fantasy X. Female edition. Titus instead of Tidus. Stepping up to look at it. Oh, don't worry, no, I am another person who always pronounced it as Tidus, not Tidus. Because tide, you know, the game has sort of a watery theme, so Tidus would make sense. Especially since Final Fantasy games kind of had a history of, well, a few games anyway. Or two, actually. And the main characters' names being Weathery, Cloud, Squall, and then Tidus. I don't think it's Zidane, however you say that one. I always said Zidane when I was younger, but I think it would be Zidane, wouldn't it? Whatever, I don't think that's anything. Anyway, sorry, don't waste time talking about other games. We're already only doing this for a limited time. I might go up to like an hour. Stepping up to look at it, I'm surprised by how old-fashioned it is, like the kind of oil painting that would be drawn a century or so ago. Every brushstroke and line has depth to it, the painter's every movement clearly visible. I find myself struck by its beauty, time slipping by me as I stare. You just like seeing naked women, don't you? Her soft-looking skin and flowing locks of hair are enough to make me wistfully sigh, her face telling of her free spirit. It's beautiful. Fucking hell! My thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the creaking of the door opening further, causing me to whip around in fright. It is her. Oh, you were looking down to start with. The particular person standing in the doorway, looking straight at me, does nothing to settle my racing heart, much less the fact I'm not even supposed to be in here. Sorry, I mean... I quickly try to stammer out something, but the words keep catching in my throat.
Oh, it's vending machine girl.
Alison Merlot. Whoa, it's Merlin.
So, you do have a name. I'm Eileen Turner for what it's worth.
I quickly nod for all my nervousness about maybe being somewhere I shouldn't. Eileen doesn't actually seem to care that much. In fact, she almost looks bored. If this room's used by a bunch of people, there's a good chance she might not know I'm an intruder.
Well, I'm gonna close the place up. If you want anything, you should grab it.
What if I want you? Look how...
Not that I think you have anything here.
The cold edge to her voice freezes my entire body. It's just winter. I mean, I can explain. Eileen narrows her eyes and crosses her arms, waiting for my response. A response which is interrupted by a familiar voice booming from the entrance.
Hey, Ali!
Great. I don't think I've ever been so glad to see Caprice. Given the art club business was her idea, it's for the best if she explains it all. No, that's for Clarissa to do, not Clarice. Clarissa explains it all. Eileen doesn't look impressed as Caprice skips into the room, looking this way and that like some tourist.
Good work, you already found us a room, this'll work perfectly. So Caprice got herself a new goon. I wish I was surprised. Yep.
What do you mean new? I thought we were friends for a while. I guess new goon as an art club member. You're not supposed to agree with that.
And what do you want this room for, pray tell? Well... the current art club is awful, I'm sure you know. So instead of dealing with them, we're going to form our own. And it looks like you and Ali have found us our club room.
I found it. Don't give her any credit. I see what's happened here now. Caprice engineered the situation so we'd all be here together. Isn't this a very subtle scheme? Oh, this isn't a very subtle scheme. But that's all the more reason for her to have come up with it. I try my best to backpedal, in a way that don't upset either. Wouldn't it make more sense if it doesn't upset either? I think so. I found our first mistake. I knew there'd be one somewhere. I just thought we'd draw a bit. I didn't mean to intrude.
I got permission to use this room to practice my painting, not for some dumb club. Sorry, but it's 2 against 1. Majority rule.
I didn't say anything about a club.
Well, too bad. This is a dictatorship. I don't want dick potatoes on my ship.
Eileen stands her ground, staring down her opponent as I try my best to stay well out of their argument. Hang on a moment. Her resolve doesn't last long though. Realising the futility of it, she eventually heaves... Oh, a sigh. At Caprice's antics, I can't say I wholly blame her.
Alright. I just want to work in peace, there isn't much to ask. But I'm not going to get anything more done today anyway.
Oh, she got a scarf. Oh, the scarf that's from the banner on Steam. And she's doing the bed eyes now. Eileen turns to me after picking up her coat from her desk and pulling her scarf around her, rather pointedly being finished with Caprice.
See you around, I guess.
Yeah. Meow. She took off like a bloody race car. At a loss for how I'm supposed to respond to such an unenthusiastic tone, I'm left standing silently by as a frustrated Eileen throws her backpack over her shoulder and strides out. Doesn't look frustrated. Caprice just smiles and shrugs as she looks back at me, the argument they had just moments ago flowing off her like water on a duck's back. Meow. No, not far.
Well, that's how it is.
I feel like I got dragged into something.
I didn't really think that'd work, but it was worth a try.
Wink. She's not listening to me at all. Am I really just an instrument to try and win this argument between them? No, I can't think that Caprice is forceful, but she means well. If this did end up being a club, I'd probably enjoy it. Caprice certainly wouldn't have made it dull, and I think if Eileen got to know me, she'd be nicer to me, but I don't want to risk Eileen getting even more annoyed with me. Oh dear, jealousy. feels like I've been left to hunker down in a foxhole in no man's land, and all I can do right now is hold my helmet on tight. Ah, it was night time, but then it came day again. As the orange of the sunset starts to wane outside, it becomes obvious that nothing more is going to get done today, just as Eileen said. I better head home, it's getting late. See you tomorrow.
See you. If you ever want to draw, feel free to drop by the new club room.
I'll just do it in my own home, thanks. Precisely none of what Eileen said penetrated, did it? I'm going home. I just gave a weak smile. Why weak? As I wave and take my bag, idly wondering if Rose will be cooking something for dinner or bringing home takeout. Something more heartening to think about than today's efforts anyway. The end of the first day. Tonk. What the fuck? Why the rumble? Why have you got a poster that says gun? And I don't know what that one on the right says. Kiterdrius. There's a panda as well. As I collapse onto the couch and settle in, the deafening sound of silence rushes in. The odd passing car from the street below the apartment only highlights the quiet of the room. That'd be nice after a day, wouldn't it? Plucking my phone from my pocket after dropping my bag on the cushion beside me, I take quick note of the time. I guess Rose got stuck in traffic. Is she dead? An annoying train of thought starts up once again as I put it away, one that's crept up on me occasionally ever since moving out, just waiting for when nothing's around to distract me. I can cope with the schoolwork easily enough. It's mostly just review right now. People like Caprice might be a handful, but they do liven up the day's routine. It's a fair distance to campus from here, but the walk helps me keep fit. The silence, that I can't deal with. Put the TV on then. See, it's already on. Grabbing the remote, oh, she is putting the TV on, and flicking on the television. No, it was already on though. I could see the light coming from the left that whole time, so that's a load of bollocks, that is. Flicking on the television at least provides some background noise, but it's no replacement for the sounds of home. What? Home sounds are silence. Oh wait, you mean like with your family and stuff. There's no mother busying herself over the cooking pot to welcome me home and ask how my day was. Get married then, get a boyfriend. No excitable older brothers fighting about this silly thing or that. No father for me to happily see come home from work. It's just me now. My fingers roll over the screen in thought as it brings up the lock screen, mindlessly tracing... What? Mindlessly tracing out the cracks in the bottom corner. God, take better care of it. I could easily call them right now. My mum and dad both made it clear I could ring any time at all, even the middle of the morning, night. But as I stare at the screen, a deep apathy strikes me. Before college, I'd have thought that with my family and old friends just a phone call away, nothing would feel all that different. Maybe I just couldn't admit to myself how big of a change this would really be. Admitting defeat, the phone ends up on the couch beside me as I watch television. Couch potato! The news is interesting today, so at least it's some distraction from all this. News is never interesting, it's always end of the world. Just when I thought I'd finally found a friend or two in college, it ends up being a mess. Why do people have to be so complicated? Damn right. Hashtag relatable. Oh my god. As the door behind me opens, I close my thoughts on the subject. There's no point in mulling things over any further. Hello? Oh, Art Matters achievement. Act 1. Well, look, we're already looking at each other happily. The door opened. Does Rose live with me? Whoa! Whoa! The Saturday's morning air is brisk as I stagger back from the supermarket, hands full with bags. Oi! I wanted to experience that. I want to see the decorations in the store. The apartment itself may be nothing to write home about, but it's certainly in a good location. I still don't feel like I've been pulling my weight when it comes to daily life with Rose. Okay, yeah, they do live together. But at least I can help with errands, like groceries. I saw attendance as armpits. Her armpits to teach me handiwork skills have been less successful. Even this much has been a learning experience, my parents usually doing the shopping back when I lived with them. Wiggle? Why is she? Oh great, she smokes. Don't live with her. As long as she doesn't do it in the house, I guess it's alright. Reaching the apartment, I find Rose crouched outside and working on her motorbike. What if she's cool? Is she? I don't know, I'm not a fan of motorbikes, like they're cool, but they're a bit dangerous. And I don't like danger. Cars are dangerous too though, everything's dangerous. She looks perfectly content as she whiles away her time with tools spread around her, as if a child happily playing with their favourite toys. Ah! Working on the bike again? Oh nah, thought I'd just sit here and look at them. Oh hey, that was quick. Well, she rose from the dead. The grave. She levers herself up with a grunt, before pulling back the edge of one bag with a finger to peer in, then another. I'm a little worried as she checks over my work. Having to hold my breath as she does isn't exactly helping. Why are you holding your breath? I'm still not used to the acrid smell of her smoking, oh right. But maybe that's a good thing, is it? What? Oh right, so you hold your breath instead of breathing, I guess. Good work, everything we needed, and no weird impulse buys. Ah, good she didn't see the dildo. Did we need more window cleaner though? You said to grab necessities if they're on sale and don't spoil, right? You're learning. Could you help me down here once you've put everything away? I need another set of hands. Grow some then. Not my responsibility that you didn't evolve properly. Without anything in particular planned for today, I agree before heading inside. The rickety stairs creak as I slowly head up with groceries in hand, fumbling with the door handle. Whoa! Why is there always an earthquake when I get home? My arms are thankful for the relief once I manage to drop the bags in the apartment after opening the door. Oh, opening the fridge, it's closed though. I get to work stuffing in the frozen and cold items first. Next I open the cabinet doors and start loading in the cans and boxes. I saw bones. As the empty shelves fill, I get an odd sense of satisfaction from caring for myself. It is always a nice feeling getting home with all the shopping and having all that stuff there. Living as an adult is busy work, but it's rewarding in its own way. There's an odd and unexpected feeling of accomplishment from doing even simple tasks. I'm sure it'll wear off in time, but I'm holding on to it for now. With the job done, TV still on. No! I close the cabinets and get back up to look about the room. The apartment is barely anything warmer inside than out. You already said that at the start of the game. Story. I suppose there are downsides as well as upsides. Putting it out of mind as best I can, I head back down to Rose. Chakonk. Slipping back outside of my clothes. No. And closing the door behind me, familiar clangs and bangs carry on the air, as Rose still works away. Pass a rag, would you? To wipe the sweat from your brow. What's with the bed eyes again? I quickly take a seat near her on a patch cleared of snow, grabbing one of the torn up pieces of old shirt. Wait, turn up? Is that wrong? One of the turn up pieces of old shirt, and handing it to her. She seems to be cleaning out some part of the engine or another. Anything interesting happening at school? Not really. The schoolwork isn't too hard so far. A friend wants to start a club. Oh, she dropped the cigarette. A club, huh? That's cool. What kind? An art club, apparently. I'm not really sold on it though. I need to study, and she basically came up with the whole idea by herself. It came back. She sucked it back in from the floor. Now it's got snow flavour. Rose passes the rag back and... Oh, I don't want it. Disgusting. And puts the part in place, motioning for me to hold it while she wrenches it back in. After a few grunts, the job appears to be done, and as she puts the wrench down with a clunk and turns back towards me. Life's not about studying, you know. I know you were a teacher's pet back in high school, but you could stand to be a bit more social. So it's this again. This is another downside of living here. With so much of my time spent alone with Rose, there's, for better or worse, no easy way to escape her questioning. I know she has my best interests in mind though. I'm glad to have someone around to help me get to grips with adult life, even if I did find her intimidating at first. What's that on her ear? She's got a weird, like, whoop thing. Couple of piercings and like a half pipe. What was your college life like? Ah, it's back again! What's going on with her mouth there? Something's off about that. It's like her lips have merged with her teeth. What?
Never had the chance to go.
I'm left a little surprised as she gets back to her bike. I've only known Rose for a couple of months now, so I'm still finding out new things about her all the time. Grin! There you go. There's the proper teeth. Even those look a bit dodgy though.
Maybe you get why I'm on your case about this stuff now.
Yeah, so I don't make the same mistakes you did.
Not everyone gets the chances you have, so make the most of it. Go to parties, get some friends, and find a boyfriend sometime, or if I want a girlfriend. Even if it doesn't last, it'll be a start.
My family always pushed me to put such things aside and focus on my education, so that's what I did. The simplicity of life back then suited me just fine, and it worked out well going by my scholarship. I was never really interested in boys because I was so caught up in learning, is what I'd like to say, but I'm honest enough with myself to know that's not the whole story. I like girls. I want to squeeze, I forgot her name's boobs. Oh yeah, Eileen. She didn't say that actually, by the way. Seeing Eileen last week reminded me of that women like her keep catching my eye. And then there was that painting of hers. As time goes on, that difference in what I like looking at gets harder and harder to explain away. Just accept it. Some people like that.
Rag, Alison?
Yeah, I am one. I hastily place a rag in her outstretched hand, Rose using it to try and rub some of the oil and grease off her hands. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I'm not straight. If that's truly the case. While I'd like to talk to her about it, I can never quite seem to find the right time. How about right now, because she mentioned boyfriends?
You alright?
No, I'm gay. Wait, that is alright. Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about how life is complicated.
Sure is. Hey, you brought that ice cream I asked for while you were out.
You checked the bags, you said everything was there. It's in the freezer now, why? Oh, she wasn't asking if I did.
How about we have some? It's the middle of winter. It's not time for ice cream.
I already said twice it's cold in that apartment.
How about we have some? Could use a treat after working all morning on this thing.
She has strange ideas about what makes good dessert in the cold of winter, yeah. This game knows what's up. But I'm not going to stop her. As the two of us start packing up, another peaceful day rolls by. That was a short day. Got bugger all done. Whoa, I woke up. A loud yawn from Rose emanates from the couch, the droning of the television briefly overshadowed. The only other sound is the coffee pot boiling away from the kitchen, punctuated by the occasional passing car. Only half awake and still acting on autopilot, I lazily wipe the sleep from my eyes as I stagger toward the door. The smell of Rose's toast wafts invitingly through the air, making me envious of her later start to work. I let out a loud yawn before I can stifle it, causing Rose to look over from the couch. What? Why, she's not on the couch. She's like standing half embedded in it, and legs through the floor, considering her height.
Wow, you look like hell.
Oh, thanks. Actually. Oh yeah, see? Thank you.
Stay up too late playing on your phone or something? Doesn't look like you got an hour of sleep.
While Rose is less than tactful about this, it's true that I shouldn't be so tired. I'm usually a morning person, but right now I can barely remember where I even put my phone. Whoa, she slid out and bounced. Rose picks herself up from the couch as she finishes her breakfast, brushing toast crumbs off herself, whoa, slob, as she starts toward the kitchen. Just the neighbours being loud again. I'm surprised you didn't hear them. I may say that, but it's hardly any real shock. She sleeps like a log. Logs don't sleep, they're not alive. Which I've always been jealous about. I mean, I guess technically they were alive, but only when they were part of the tree. Rose puts down the plate in her hand, giving the matter more thought than I'd intended. The ones above us, right? Man, I'm sick of them. Go kick 'em. I'll have to go talk to them later today and get them to knock it off. Making a racket during the day is one thing, but the night's another. You don't have to do that. They might be quiet from now on anyway. What? Why would you suddenly assume that they're going to be? She looks surprisingly disappointed at my attempts to wave off her concern. You have to stand up for yourself sometimes, Alison. Waiting for things to blow over isn't always going to work. I wind up rubbing my neck and avoid outright answering. Whoop! Meow! Apparently dropping the topic, she sighs and disappears into the kitchen after taking her plate again. I just don't want to cause a fuss, especially on my behalf. Is that really so bad? Yeah. With time rolling by, I glance about and see my phone on the corner of the table. Slipping it into my coat pocket, I skip over and grab my bag sitting by the door. Is that a motorbike jacket on the back of that chair there? Maybe. As I stretch a bit to try and wake myself up before facing the cold outside, Rose calls out from behind me. Nice ass! Oh, that's not what she said. Turning to see her shows a fistful of crumpled dollar bills, holy shit, in the hand, thrust out towards me. Cheers! Here, go buy yourself an espresso or something on the way. It's fine, you don't have to. Just take it, you look awful. Oh, thanks. Thought I looked like hell. She really does have a way with words. Grin! She did a smirk. I reluctantly take the cash, thank her then, and slip it into my pocket, thanking Rose as I leave. Oh, you didn't. Never mind, this game's on top of it, don't worry. Ah, snow is back. As soon as I get out the door, the weather hits me. Looks like it's going to be a harsh winter this year, with the cold of the snow clumping down behind me. What? No, clumping down, being made all the worse by the chilly fog hanging in the air. Twisting my head to and fro to bury it in my scarf a little better, I set off down the road with hands firmly lodged in my coat pockets. There don't seem to be many people around that are braving the weather, not that I blame them. As the muffled sound of snow under tyres rings out, a garbage truck rumbles by. It's only after a worrying few seconds that I remember I did indeed put the garbage out of collection yesterday. Oh, this is very good information, this is. Reaching the campus, the welcome sight of the cafe nearby lifts my spirits. I've overheard students mention the coffee here is good, and it's conveniently right next to campus. It looks homely enough from the outside, and only a handful of people inside at this hour, as I peer through the windows. With a quick brush of the fallen snow off my shoulders and bag, I take a breath and walk in. Are there going to be decorations? No, boring. You can see this wasn't meant to be a Christmas story, they just put it in. For no reason, sometimes. I don't know. I want a proper Christmas-themed visual novel at some point. This year's a bust, I'm sorry. A bell above the door rings out as I enter. The smell of coffee on the air combining with the homely styling inside, making for an immediately cosy atmosphere. Joining the couple of people in line, I quickly rehearse the order in my mind to make sure I get it right. The barista's nice smile towards the other patrons keeps making me trip over myself. What? Why does somebody smiling make you trip over yourself? And I've never been great in dealing with strangers. Yeah. I can get behind this girl, and I would like to. What? Coming to the front of the line, I managed to blurt out my order of a latte with sugar before I can mess it up. You already did mess it up. You're not supposed to have sugar in it. Yeah, you are. She smiles and takes my payment, leaving me to wait to the side as it's prepared. She just smiles. Are you supposed to say, like, thank you, it'll take 2 minutes. Take a seat wherever you like. I briefly consider having it here, given how relaxing the cafe is. The oak tree. Oh, who are these people? Who's that? Bearded wonder. It's Yahtzee Croshaw, is it? I don't know. That's before I notice Caprice loudly chatting with the tall man sitting across from her. The tall man. Uh-oh. I'm surprised I didn't notice them. Well, clearly you did. Just now. I must really be out of it. Ah, there it is. Definitely not Starbucks. As the cute barista slides the coffee cup towards me, I decide I'd better leave the two in peace and drink outside. What? What do you mean leave them in peace? There's more tables! Before I can, Caprice catches sight of me and begins excitedly waving her hand in the air. Allie, hey Allie, over here, Allie! Alley cat. It's okay, they've disappeared. So much for that coffee in hand. Oh, so much for that. Coffee in hand, I wearily walk over to their table and look from one to the other. Hello! Morning Caprice, Wallace. Upon Caprice moving her backpack off a chair and placing it on the floor, I take a seat. Alison here's a good friend and one of my founding members of the art club. The founding members. The new art club. This is Caprice's rodeo, so I'm content to let her deal with the club as she wants to at this point. It takes me a moment to realise she referred to me as a good friend. In particular, we've only known each other for a couple of months since the semester started, but I'm a little glad she thinks of me like that. Hi, I'm some guy Caprice found. What? He's our fourth member. Hi, some guy. As he sighs forlornly, all I can offer is a stifled smile in response. Caprice looked so comfortable dealing with him that I assumed they knew each other already. Come to think of it, Caprice had no problem dealing with Eileen either, despite barely knowing her. I'm impressed at how she can talk to strangers with just the same confidence as friends. Maybe she even considers him one entirely already. What? Where did I get entirely from? So what did you get up to over the weekend, Allie? Just housework and errands. Surprising how much time I spend on that sort of thing now that I've moved out. I get what you mean. Thankfully, I split the work with my roommates. It's my roommate that makes me want to pick up the slack. Caprice looks to Wallace for his input, making him part of the conversation. I look after the family gun shop. Oh, great. On weekends, nothing glamorous, but enough to get by on. Caprice continues on chatting, mostly with him. Wallace quietly nods along, adding a yeah, or I see, as needed. I get the distinct feeling he's being talked at more than being talked to. Talk at. Now that we're both sitting across from each other, I can fully appreciate how much of a bear the man is. What? Cutting more of a foreboding figure thanks to his beard. I can already feel myself shrinking in response. Isn't the description bear usually used for, like, large people? Like, overweight and probably hairy. I mean, he's got the beard, obviously, but I don't know. For want to not stare at him, I turn to the coffee steaming away before him. Look at your own instead. In fact, looking down at his coffee is more suspicious, because it's like you're looking at his abs or something. A flat black with the lid taken off to let it cool faster. I can taste how bitter it is just by looking at it. The conversation is suddenly interrupted by a phone going off. Is Wallace buggering off, please? Oh no, she's leaving him with me, isn't she? Apparently Caprice is, as her hand dives into the front pocket of her hoodie and retrieves it. Bye! Wallace and I just look at each other as she wanders off a few steps to take the call, unsure exactly what to do with ourselves. It only takes a few seconds before she returns. Oh, good. Sorry guys, gotta go. Roommates need me. This was set up, wasn't it? Wait.
I'll see you two around, we've got much more to discuss.
She took something off. I guess she put something on actually. Her clothes changed again, just like last time I was confused. With that, she grabs her backpack and skips out into the winter air without another word.
Meow.
Ah. Going by her face, I'm more worried about this than she is. Left alone with Wallace, I sip my coffee for something to do. Glancing in his direction, he looks more relieved than anything.
She means well.
I know she does.
Even if Eileen doesn't think so, I just have to keep telling myself that.
And now I'm glad I didn't say that. What? Say what? Oh. Much as I would like to leap to her defence, she is pushing this awfully hard. If he's trying to start a conversation, I feel I should at least try to reciprocate rather than letting him twist in the wind. There isn't wind in here, in the cafe.
This isn't a beach, it's a cafe.
Whatever. So you and Eileen know each other? He gives a nod after taking a long sip of his coffee. That must be so awfully bitter.
We're friends, met when she was a freshman in high school. Caprice saw us together and made the connection.
Oh.
She's filled me... Whoa.
Oh.
She's filled me in on this club business. I'm gonna guess you were pulled into it.
Something like that. Kinda spiraled out of control, sorry. We're at 30 minutes here, but I don't know, I might go a little bit further, just to see where this day goes. Wallace simply shrugs.
Not the first time clubs have been pushy about scouting members. I was actually thinking the whole thing might be good for Eileen. Her single-mindedness is her best and worst trait, really. I don't want to say please put up with Eileen, but I'm having trouble working out a better way to word that. She isn't a bad person, just driven. I'm sure you know someone similar.
Yeah, Eileen. I do shudder what her reaction would be to being told she and Caprice are similar in any way. I'm still not sure about dealing with her, but it's hard to deny someone worried about their friend. Wallace seems content that he's managed to get his point across. Silence hanging in the air as he thoughtfully sips his coffee. It reminds me that I should drink my own before it gets too cold as well. You did have a sip a second ago. The weather outside is frightful, but the fire doesn't exist in this cafe, so I don't know if it's delightful. The weather outside is a harsh contrast to the nice atmosphere in here, which might be why more students are starting to file in before classes start. The coffee's nice as well, so maybe I'll make this a regular spot, if I can afford to, that is. Oh, he's sad now. As for my companion, I think I'm starting to see him in a better way. He's just concerned about his friend. Maybe he's the gentle giant type, who isn't that threatening at all. He works in a gun shop. With his cup empty as he sets it down, Wallace sits back to savour the last of its taste.
Well, I've said my piece. Caprice will probably give up on me, but you and Eileen are another matter.
Caprice is a good friend, I can handle her. It was nice meeting you, Wallace. I carefully repeat his name to try and engrave it in my memory. I have no doubt I'd instantly forget it otherwise. He's perhaps overly hopeful when it comes to Caprice, though.
Thanks, you seem nice. I hope Eileen will ease off a bit.
He levers himself off the chair. Can't you just say he stands up, like a normal person? With a grunt. God, why does everybody grunt after levering in this world? Just like Rose did. Taking a glance outside before grabbing his scarf and hat once more. What do you mean once more? He didn't have them before. This is the first time he's grabbed them in my life.
Good luck with class.
Thanks, you too. How do you know he's going to class? With that, he leaves the cafe while sliding past someone coming in. He really did slide. Staggering through the terrible weather outside as he goes. With my next class so soon, I better finish the coffee off quickly. With that in mind, I concentrate on taking as big gulps as I can without looking unsightly. What? Does drinking look unsightly? It's funny how one thing leads to another, though. Feels like a snowball has begun to start rolling, meeting new and interesting people since I started here. It might have taken a couple of months, but maybe I will manage to find some new friends. Ah! I kinda wanna go to the end of the day, but we're only just getting to school, so we've probably got like a long time left. Look, there's not even any Christmas here, so yeah, I might just leave it in a sec. Let me just see what's going on here. With the weather turning worse and worse as the week went on, the library seemed as good a place as any to spend some time before having lunch. Unfortunately, it looks like I wasn't the only one who had the idea. While the library here is bigger than my previous schools, that doesn't matter much when a large portion of the students are dumped inside. They are quite like shit, aren't they? No? Maybe. Some of them. Who knows? While my first choice would have been using one of the computers, this girl's got good taste. That's obviously out of the question. Honk! This is some farty music. Worried about looking like a dork as I loiter about, I start walking slowly through the library. Thankfully, nobody pays me much attention, while I glance from side to side for an empty table or desk. Students who are actually studying, that looks like whore, seem to be outnumbered by those gossiping with friends or catching up on sleep. It's only in a far corner of the room that I catch a familiar face, albeit not necessarily a welcome one. Who is it? Uh-oh. Suddenly, different text box thingy. What's going to happen here? Well, I think you'll just have to play this to find out, won't you? Well, I'm sorry it wasn't more Christmassy. Clearly this will be going early in the month. There was plenty of snow and stuff, but there was like 2 screens with Christmas decorations. And that's about it for Christmas stuff in this so far. God, why do visual novels always have like, well, Christmas quote-unquote visual novels always have Christmas advertised, but it's so very barely Christmas. It might be set at winter and have a couple of screens of decorations, but otherwise no real mention of it. I don't know, maybe later in the story they get the Christmas gift of each other and spend the night in bed together. Probably. I don't know. Does this have any, does this have sexual content in the tags? Oh, it does actually. I wouldn't mind zooming on to see something, but oh well. Oh, what the hell? That's hentai as well. Oh, and nudity. What? Are you sure? Should have checked those first. Good job none of that came up, otherwise I would have had to edit it out. Gosh darn. What if I want to save it and zoom on a bit and see some? Page turner. How do I auto text? There we go. Skip mode. Now, can we see some boobage? It's probably too far in the distance really, isn't it? What's all this? She's doing something complicated. Nah, if anything, it's going to be right at the end, isn't it? It's not like they're going to fall in love right here, right now. Sorry, I'm not that desperate to see some boobage. I don't even care about boobs all that much. It's my least favourite erogenous zone. Like, they're still perfectly nice and everything, but when going for the sexies, or when the lewd mode is there. Oh, what's going on here? Some art. Whoa! You could probably pause it and read all these if you're really skilled. Hey look, it's the same art again. Anyway, that's enough. This game is free, by the way, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it is free to play, so if you want to see some hentai, apparently, there you go. Have a look for yourself. But that's enough for me. So, thanks for watching this Christmas special, I guess, is what it is. And I hope you're enjoying them so far. Keep an eye out every day on this channel up to and even beyond Christmas Day, and also check out my other channel, Pie Dragon PS, the letters PS all as one word, for daily, or at least most days, Christmassy stuff, such as advent calendars, and more Christmas specials here every day. So thanks for watching, happy holidays, hope you're having a good month so far, and see you soon. Goodbye!